Okay. Do I have everything? Yeah. Let's start with a bit of tea. Hello, dear tea friends. Welcome to a new tea class. I'm starting by making a little bit of bilochun from Sanxia from this spring, a green tea because it's spring and because we are going to talk about Lu Yu, the Tang dynasty. In that dynasty, they only drank green tea differently than we do now, but still, I think it's a good opportunity to enjoy some green tea tonight. I'm going to make it very light so I don't use so many leaves, and this will allow me to brew it very long at pleasure, just like it's very simply like we can use it, like we can brew it. Okay. Hello dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Erler. I'm the founder of the Tea Masters blog and also of the tea-masters.com tea boutique. I'm doing these tea classes so that we learn more about tea. Learning more about tea helps us to gain more understanding about this beautiful beverage that we love so much, and it helps us better appreciate it and very often to better brew it. And by doing this, we are enjoying it even more. So these classes are really part of becoming a tea master. I hope that we all become tea masters. And welcome to this new installment where I'm going to talk about Lu Yu, based on this new book that was published in France by the Édition Les Belles Lettres. And I used this version to translate, this French version to translate back into English. So I'm going to read the text in English, and then after each paragraph, or here each utensil, accessory, I'm going to give you some feedback, some comments. And we are today studying the second book, chapter 4. These are the accessories to making tea, in the idea of not making, preparing the dry leaves, but on preparing the beverage. So we finished 1 month ago with tea bowls, a very important, interesting lesson. Let's continue and finish this chapter. Accessory number 19, the woven basket. Well, the basket is woven with twisted white accord. It can hold 10 bowls. Sometimes a grain basket is used. It is then lined with a bag of shan paper, square in shape, sewn in double thickness. You can also put up to 10 bowls in it. So this is interesting that he mentions the number of bowls, 10. This shows that contrary to Kung Fu Cha, where the standard is 3 cups, for the Tang Dynasty, you would reserve 10 bowls, which means you were expecting up to 10 guests, and this shows that the gatherings, tea gatherings, were a little bit larger than for Kung Fu Cha. And I'm going to now put my tea so that I have something to drink while I'm talking. It also is interesting in this section to see that It is a basket which helps to carry these balls from one place to another, and it also is a good reminder that in the Tang Dynasty the paper was already invented. Here it's not used to write on it, it's used more to as a cushion to avoid that the balls break while they are carried from one place to another. But paper is a Chinese invention that dates much earlier than in Europe. In Europe at that time, during the medieval times, here Tang Dynasty, around 730, we are still using parchments, which means the skins of animals to write on it. It really came much later that actually with the French Revolution that they changed and decided that now instead of parchments you could use paper to write official edicts on them. Let's continue with number 20, the brush jar. The brush is made by inserting strips of fan palm bark into dogwood wood and tying everything together. They can also be inserted and tied into a tubular bamboo like a giant paintbrush. Now this brush, which is depicted here, looks a bit like some ancient Song Dynasty brushes made to whisk the tea, and maybe that's where the inspiration came from. But this brush was not there to whisk tea. In the Tang Dynasty, this brush is used for the cleaning of the utensils. It's not specified here, but it comes. This meaning is quite clear with the next item, which is a rinsing basin, difang. The rinse basin receives the water remaining after washing. It is assembled with catalpa wood. It is made like the water tub. It has a capacity of 8 sheng, with 1 sheng being 600 milliliter, more or less. Number 22, the wastewater basin, zefang. It is used to collect residues. It is designed like the rinsing basin, but with a capacity of 5 sheng. And this rinsing and wastewater basin actually is something that we are still using today for our tea ceremony and tea making. We need a bowl, a little basin, in order to put the wastewater, the water, to preheat our gaiwan and our bowls, our cups. It will also receive the spent leaves once we finish them. These can still be brewed again, so I'm not going to discard them just yet. However, I'm going to drink some of this bilochun, which is very light, very fragrant. Very nice. And so the function is there, still remains, and it shows that for tea making we are still using a wastewater basin. Now number 23, the cloth, Jing. It is made of coarse silk, 2 feet long. It is divided into 2 strips which are used alternatively. It is used for cleaning utensils. Now this cloth made of coarse silk, so it's still made of silk, one of the very luxurious material at the time, also an invention by the Chinese, something that made them famous and rich, hence the Silk Roads that already existed at that time. Well, this is not this is one made of one I can sometimes use made of cotton, but it shows The refinement of Tang Dynasty utensils and this tea preparation that Louis would say that cloth to clean the utensils is a complete necessary utensil by itself. It has inspired later on the Japanese chadao, where they pay a lot of attention on how it is folded, the color, how it is, where it is put on the hand, etc. But here the focus is really about the function of cleaning. That's why it has to be a bit coarse silk. The coarseness helps to better clean, like a sponge. If it's too fine, you don't get the stains away. You need a bit roughness on the sponge to clean well. The last two items are number 24, storage of utensils, Juliet. Storage for utensils is made in the form of a table or shelves. Some are only made of wood or bamboo. Others use the two materials combined and lacquer it in black and yellow checkers. It measures 3 feet long, 2 feet wide and 6 inches high. It is used to bring together all the objects and utensils necessary for tea, which are thus all stored away. So even the storage is an important part. I have here this storage unit that you can see behind me. It's very practical to have everything that you need at hand. So I put some tea jars, teapots, teacups, all together, and it's really very practical to have this kind of storage unit. But in the Tang dynasties, it was more in the shape of a lower shelf, like a table. Number 25, very interesting. The large basket for utensils, dulan. The large basket is so named because all the utensils can be placed there. It is made with thin strips of bamboo woven to create triangular or square holes. On the outside, 2 straps braided horizontally go around the basket. A single strap is braided vertically. It passes over the 2 horizontal strips, forming squares as ornaments. She stands 1 foot 5 inches tall. The bottom is a foot wide and 2 inches thick. It is 2 feet 4 inches long and 2 feet wide. And in this book, there is a drawing of what this dulan, what this basket can look like, and you will notice that it looks very similar to this one that I'm still using today. This one dates from the Qing dynasty, so it's over 100 years old, made of woven bamboo. If you look at it closely, you will see the beautiful designs woven, and this shows, and I'm using it really to transport all my accessories to make tea. It's very practical if you want to make tea in a different room or outdoors or at a different location. Everything can be fitted inside and can be taken along for the ride, for wherever you want to go and make your tea. So already during Louis' time, there were some very similar baskets that were used for the very same purpose, of course fitting different accessories in it, but the shape and the idea was already very, very similar. This shows that there are some connections between the past and the present. Some things have evolved. We are not using large bowls as before. We are using now smaller cups. This actually is more based on a Yuan, so a Mongol dynasty design. But this Mongol design, for instance, is a smaller design based on the Song dynasty, and the Song dynasty itself is again an evolution from the Tang dynasty. So learning about Tang helps us really to go back to the fundamentals of where tea started, and this is really the first book of that is comprehensive, talking about all the aspects of tea. That's why it is so interesting and so important that we would study it. I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. Give me a thumbs up if that was the case. If you are enjoying tea, I recommend that you visit my blog, that you visit my boutique. There are great promotions just before the beginning of the oolong spring season. And I will continue this study in a month about Louis Jing. And next week we are going to move back to our study of I Ching teapots. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday drinking excellent tea. Cheers! Please let me know if you have any questions. Hello, Elizabeth. I see you there. Thank you. It's a bit hot. We have temperatures of over 30 degrees today. Definitely it's spring or almost summer that has started. Terry writes, why 2 silk clothes? Beautiful basket. Louis mentions only 1 silk cloth, but that he would use on each side, on both sides. It is divided into 2 strips that are used alternatively. It is used for cleaning utensils. So for him it's a long, and then he separates it one side and the other side, and he uses them alternatively. Probably after cleaning with one side, he can clean this part and use the other one that is dry, etc. That's and this cloth has been in the inspiration for the clothes used in the Chadao ceremony later in the Japanese Chadao, which is using combining actually aspects from the Tang and from the Song dynasty. That's why it's quite interesting. Elizabeth writes, do you enjoy the green tea with so few leaves? It must be very interesting, maybe refreshing, yes. And I'm with this warm weather, even tonight, where I'm sweating a little bit. It's very refreshing, and I wanted to have something that is easy to brew and not too strong for the night. You can really see that I have very few leaves. And this tea, this Bilochun, is of such good quality that it's not getting bitter, even brewed for a long time. So it's really a testament to its quality that it's possible to let it steep for quite a long time. Of course, not too many leaves. Green tea should never be brewed in a very concentrated fashion. unless it's not high quality and it doesn't have so much flavor. But this one is very concentrated, so it can be brewed with just a few leaves. This is already enough to make a very good flavor. A beautiful painting behind me. Yes, thank you very much. It's very for lots of flowers and birds, really symbols for the spring right now. Tabitha, thank you. Raw silk might be available now. If you really want to go full Tang Dynasty, you can try to use a raw silk. That could be an interesting thing to try. Let me. It's a bit hot. Hop là. Let me fish a leaf or two to show you what they look like. Oh. Here we see one leaf and the quite long bud, still not opened. I'm going to open it with my fingers, and when I open it, we see another bird inside. So this is a very good sign. So very typical way of picking leaves, 2 leaves and bud. Actually, this is more 1 leaf and 2 buds, 2 in 1. Very delicate, picked by hand. I put some pictures of the very old ladies who are picking this tea. Luckily for them, they're not paid by the weight, but by the day. And so they were. They had this plastic chair wrapped behind their waist, and they would sit down and do the picking by sitting down, these 2 ladies together and talking. They were talking in Hakani, in Fukienese dialect, so I did not understand what they were talking about. But even after I came in the afternoon to take pictures of them in the plantation, and so they already had been picking tea for 6-7 hours, and they were still talking. Probably they had an unextinguishable subject. But thanks to this, we have this delicately picked green tea. We don't know how long it will last. That we have these old ladies who are there to pick this tea. But well, try to enjoy it while we have it, and it will be the farmer's problem to think of alternative once they are not there anymore. Okay, enough said. Thank you again for your presence, Elizabeth and Terry, and to all those others who are going to see me later on in replay. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next Sunday. Bye bye.